having me. So Busch Wildlife Sanctuary has been around for 41 years. We've been here in Jupiter, and we moved to Miami briefly and then came back to Jupiter. So we've been a staple in this community for over 4 decades. And our mission is twofold. So first, it's environmental education, teaching our local residents how to cohabitate with the native wildlife here, respecting their natural habitats, and then also wildlife rehabilitation. So we have a wildlife rehabilitation center that sees nearly 6,000 injured animals every single year, with the goal of rehabilitating them and re-releasing them back into the wild. Of course, there are some animals that do have permanent injuries, and that is what our sanctuary is for. So here at the sanctuary, we have over 200 animals for various reasons that can't be returned into the wild, so we provide them a forever home here.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Do you have any favorite species that are here living permanently?
Me personally?
Yeah.
That's a really hard question because we do have so many that are great animal ambassadors. I think I would have to say my personal favorite, probably the otters, just because I love to really watch them play in their habitat in their pond.
As soon as you said that, I was like, they're so adorable.
They are. But it's hard to pick a favorite. It's kind of like having a favorite child, on some days.
Right.
Because they're animals at the end of the day. So sometimes they act up or they don't want to listen to you. So some days there are animals that are better behaved than others. At the sanctuary, we have over 600 free educational programs every single year here. So we have ones that happen on site here at the sanctuary daily. We have our conservation conversation that happens Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. We also have our otter adventures or our hunters of the skies with our birds of prey. So you can get in depth with more individual species here. But our education department also hosts offsite programs, and they host school children and summer camps. So we have about 12,000 school children annually who visit the sanctuary and who benefit from our educational programs.
That is incredible. So it really sounds like you always have something going on here.
There's always something going on here because we also have a few community outreach like pop-ups that we do. So upcoming on August 6th, we actually have a special Charlie chat. So one of our cougars that is one of our newer animal ambassadors, he came to us in March. We're having a special lecture on his journey from California all the way to Jupiter, Florida. So that's our Charlie chat. We also, in September, it's Latino Conservation Week. So we'll have a few Spanish speaking educational programs that we're going to be doing all throughout that week. We also have a cohabitating with wildlife special pop-up lecture that we're doing. So we have very niche pop-ups.
That is fantastic. Yeah. I had no idea that all of this was going on,
yeah,
so I'm sure people will be happy to find that out. And what's the best way to donate and participate?
So there are a lot of ways that people can get involved with Busch Wildlife Sanctuary. Of course, the number one thing that we rely on is donations, community support. Our doors are open because of the amazing community members we have here in Palm Beach County that visit the sanctuary and donate to the sanctuary. But like I said, we also have our wildlife rehabilitation center. So if you ever come across an injured animal, you can bring it to us. We also do have a volunteer rescue team, so you can call the sanctuary and we do our best to try and go out there and rescue the animal if you are unable to bring it to us. But our doors are open every single day to drop off any injured animals. We also rely very heavily on our volunteers. We have over 100 volunteers here. We love them so much. We wouldn't be able to do what we do at the sanctuary without their support, so you can apply to volunteer as well.
Oh my goodness. Well, such a phenomenal mission. I think we should go have a look around, right?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's go.
Called Tiny Tales Story Time.
Oh, that's so neat. So all the kiddies get to come and learn about the animals.
We walk around with some of our animal ambassadors. It's one of the volunteers, Diane.
Another cool thing about crocodiles has to do with their mouth. So when we're looking at them, there's a few ways to tell the difference. You guys up front, you want to put your hands together like this for me. All right, so be an example of your alligator jaw.
And beforehand, like our entire sanctuary was just 6 acres. So now we have 6 acres just for rehabilitation. So it's really, really exciting. So we got owls, hawks, falcons, All of our birds of prey. So a majority of these animals that are here because they have some sort of human related injury. So as you can see, our red-tailed hawk right here only has one eye. It was in a car accident and it had to lose the eye. So the majority of them have either eye or wing injuries. So they wouldn't be able to hunt their food or fly very well. And all throughout the sanctuary, like on every single poster, we do have QR codes where you can learn a little bit more about the species.
Oh, that's great.
It also cuts down on like paper. Well-known residents, I should say. Hi, Stu! Stu! You gonna whistle again? Go for it. Do it.
Aw, very vocal
So,
friend.
he's a whistling duck. Like if you could hear his call like clear across the sanctuary, he's very, very talkative. Stewie is really funny. So his story is that a woman, you know, kind of took him in as a pet when he was very, very young, which isn't recommended because they are very loud. So she did take very great care of him, but her neighbors kind of started complaining, like, you know, there's a very loud duck making all of his calls.
Right.
So she brought him here to Busch Wildlife, and we tried to assimilate him to other ducks that we actually had in our rehab center, to kind of wild him up in a sense, and release them all back into the wild. And Stu came right back.
Aww.
So it was very clear he had been a little bit too habituated to humans,
Yeah.
and wouldn't really be able to survive in the wild on his own. So that's why Stu's with us.
He's like, I'm a person now.
He is. Probably hide him somewhere.
The fox den.
Yeah.
So this is the black bear habitat, and they're hiding from the sun. I don't blame them at all, but they have a nice pond here with a waterfall. Very pretty. Thank you.
Snakes. Then we got some baby gators right behind you.
Oh my goodness. Look at this cutie. Just floating around.
So the baby gators, we actually have this really cute tradition with them. So the baby gators that we have here are really just here for educational purposes. We borrow them from another facility when they're younger, and they're here with us for about 2 years, then they'll go back to that facility where they came from. But the first baby gator we ever got here was brought to our rehabilitation center, and he was found in a pool noodle, so we called him Noodle. And then every other baby gator we got had some sort of pasta-related name. So right here we have macaroni and bow tie, or Bo and Mac.
Bo and Mac.
But we've also had
There's Bo. Oh my goodness.
we've also had chow mein. We've had rigatoni, linguine, fettuccine, risotto.
And risotto.
Yep.
I love that. That is adorable. And then we have some snakes over here. Taking a nap.
We know snakes aren't always everyone's forte, but snakes are very, very important to our ecosystem.
Absolutely. And they're beautiful, so even if you're afraid of them, it's okay. You got the glass to protect you, so you can enjoy without being worried. I mean, you can see how big this guy's tail is right here.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. And that's an eastern indigo snake. Very cool.
So right here, this is going to be Tamala. He's been with us for about 8 years now. So Tamala he's technically a California cougar, But cougars, mountain lions, panthers, they're all the same species. They just have a little bit different characteristics based on where they are. So a California cougar is going to be a little bit bigger than a Florida panther would be. But the Florida panther is actually the most endangered cat species in North America. There's only about 200 left in the wild. So Tamala and then our other cougar Charlie are great ambassadors for our Florida panther.
Wow.
But both are from California. Tamala, when he was still a cub, was caught in a wildfire, and he suffered damage to his face and also his paws, so he doesn't see very, very well, and he also has a lot of nerve damage on his paws, so make it very hard for him to hunt and get around in the wild.
Oh my goodness, what a survivor. What a story you have.
Very pretty. Illegal pet trade. So someone attempted to sell him illegally as a pet out in California. They declawed him on all 4 of his paws as a result of that. Thankfully, he was rescued before the transaction actually went through. So, but without all of his paws being declawed, he would not be able to defend himself or hunt in the wild. So he's pretty much been in captivity most of his life since he was rescued so young.
Wow.
Charlie.
Oh, Charlie.
And yeah, like I said, he is one of our newer animal ambassadors. So he was living at a sanctuary over in California. When we built this new facility, the people who own that nonprofit over in California just thought we could give him a better quality of life, give him a little bit more room. So our CEO and our operations director went over to California, drove straight through, because when you have a cougar in your back seat, you can't really stop.
Right.
So it took 5 days, drove out there, picked him up, came right back home.
Oh my goodness.
It's quite, yeah.
What a
quite,
trip.
Quite the story. Oh, there she is. So that's Freddie. And Freddie is actually our longest resident that we've had here at Busch. She's 40 years old, so we've had her almost the entire time that we've been around, because we've been around 41 years. So someone found, a little boy, found Freddie's egg and was just kind of curious and was like, I'm just gonna keep this. And so he kept it and hatched it prematurely and realized it was a baby gator. And he accidentally, kind of kept this baby gator in his house for a little bit, and then, I don't know if his parents just found out or what, but gave the gator to us at Busch. And because she was hatched prematurely, just like a premature baby is when they're born, she does have some developmental issues, so she can only open her mouth about 4 or 5 inches, so she does have to be hand fed a special way. She can't chomp down like gators are known for chomping down. And she's actually a little bit smaller than what she should be. So as a 40-year-old gator, she should be anywhere from 8 to 10 feet, and she's only about 6.5 feet.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So do you think if the egg had not hatched prematurely, it probably would have turned out?
Yep, she would have been
pretty
completely fine. These are actually all nocturnal animals, so they're kind of hard to see during the day when the sanctuary is open. We got possums, a skunk, even a kinkajou.
A kinkajou?
A kinkajou.
And what is that?
It's kind of like a lemur-esque.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We love lemurs.
So here we have
wow.
our bald eagles.
Hello. This regal, majestic beauty.
So all of our bald eagles are here mainly because of wing injuries, so none of them can fly very, very well. That's why you kind of see them hanging out, usually on their perch or on the ground.
Is this a male?
I believe all of them in here are males. I think our only female is, you can kind of see this wing is amputated. Our one female bald eagle is used for educational programming, and all of our educational animals are actually kept off-site, right there. Just because we don't want to give them too much interaction, we like to give them a break from being front and center.
Right.
So this habitat, we just call it our pinewood flats. We kind of got a lot of different animals in here. So we have the sandhill cranes, we got some turkeys, we have some deer. The deer are probably in the shade right now.
I'm noticing this one has an interesting beak. Is
Yep.
that...
So this is Fraser. Fraser was unfortunately attacked by other sandhill cranes, which is unfortunately common just, in the wild. So when he was attacked by other sandhill cranes, some local residents brought him to our rehabilitation center, and he had broken his beak and it just never healed correctly. So that's why she's here with us, because she just doesn't eat properly. So it would be really hard for her to forage her own food out in the wild.
Right.
And this is our other sandhill crane, Gary. He only has one wing.
Gary and Fraser.
Yes, and they are both actually girls.
I love it.
So
That's the best.
the funny thing with animals, so reptiles and birds, they don't have their sex organs on the outside of their body. So you don't really know exactly what they are until they do or do not lay eggs.
Mm-hmm.
So Freddie, our alligator, is actually a female. But when she came to us, we just named her Freddie the alligator.
Well, I had a female cat named Ralph, and it was because we said, "What do you want your name to be?" And she said, "Ralph."
Oh. So these are going to be all of our water birds. So we got ducks, geese, pelicans.
In the pool.
Oh yeah. We're very, very thankful. We had this pool donated to us by a local construction company.
Oh, that's awesome.
So yeah, this opened in May. So they moved into their new habitat in May, and they've been loving it ever since. They're always in the pool.
Definitely perfect for this summer.
Yeah.
Yay! North American river otter.
Do you see one hanging out in the back? Hopefully the other one's in the pond. Charlie! We have another Charlie. Charlie the otter. Tot! So their natural habitats are going to be any kind of freshwater systems. So they are river otters. A lot of people will see them in the St. Lucie River, the Waxahachie River. Anyone who kind of lives on an intercoastal sometimes sees them in their backyard.
Ah, okay. Oh, who's this?
This is Porter.
Porter.
Porter is one of our bobcats. Porter. He's no.
So small.
Yeah, so we do have 6 bobcats. We have 3 in this enclosure and 3 on the other side. The 3 that are in here are Paisley, Penelope, and Porter. They are all siblings. Paisley only has 3 legs, and they were orphaned when they were younger. They were separated from their mom, and they were so little they hadn't even opened their eyes yet. And then they were rescued by Busch Wildlife, and they unfortunately imprinted. So with animals, it's this psychological, I don't want to say phenomenon, but it's the first thing that they see when they open their eyes is kind of who they form their bond to.
Right.
So because they were so small when they were separated from their mom, a human was the first thing that they saw when they opened their eyes. So they just got way too habituated to humans.
They look a bit like a Maine Coon.
A little bit.
So pretty.
Yeah, people do see bobcats in the wild and they kind of just think, oh, it's a cat.
Yeah.
These are wild animals.
Right.
Very, very sharp claws. They do eat, they're carnivores.
Yeah.
They eat small mammals or small rodents and birds. So definitely don't, if you see a bobcat, don't think, oh, what a cute kitty.
Yeah, steer clear of the bobcats. Give them their space.
Yeah, kind of like how I was saying earlier, these are animals, and if they don't want to listen, they're not going to listen. The bobcats are the perfect example. We do keep our larger mammals at night in their night houses, and at the end of the day, we say, hey, come in, it's time to come in. Sometimes the bobcats are just mm-mm.
Right.
Sometimes it takes half an hour to get them inside.
Rebel without a cause. I do what I want.
But all of our animals, especially the mammals at the sanctuary, are trained to listen to verbal commands. So when we did move from our old sanctuary to this sanctuary, all of our animals willingly were able to be either sedated so we could move them safely, like our bears and our panthers, like the larger animals, we had to sedate them in order to move them. But all of them willingly took the injections. And then all of the bobcats, they understand like crate, like when we say crate, they go into their crate, so all of them were able to just go into their crate, be moved. Same with the otters, the foxes, the raccoons. Our trainers or our keepers work with them very, very well to train them to listen, just for their safety.
Right. That is so great.
So this is our educational discovery center. This is where we really try to teach residents about how to cohabitate with native wildlife. It's very interactive for kids as well. A lot of interactive.
So you can walk around and learn some more information. Like, my cat caught a bird or small animal. What should I do? And then there's a selection of books as well. We've got fossils. And even, is this a spoon book?
I believe so.
And as you see, some people are over there interacting, learning, engaging.
So the main reason that we have this Discovery Center open to our residents is because of the 6,000 animals that we treat over in our Wildlife Rehabilitation Center, about 90% of the injuries are from human interaction. So it's really important to educate our public on how to cohabitate with wildlife and remember that this was their habitat first, and respecting their boundaries, and if they are injured, you know what to do, how to handle it.
No, exactly. I feel like knowledge is power. So the more people know, the more things can be avoided.
Yes.
And I mean, we really can't live harmoniously with nature and wildlife. Just got to put some effort into it, right?
Yes, of course. You gotta educate yourself and do what you can to make a difference.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Of course. So come visit Busch Wildlife Sanctuary and enjoy everything that we have to offer.